You alright? You alright? News!
Stone cold sober Steve Austin. Been drinking them bad boys all night. Let's do some news. A title change has gone down on Friday Night SmackDown. Also, WWE find a way to ruin their own draft. We'll talk about that in a second. And a brand new update on Sasha Banks' injury, which we'll get to at the very end. So we've just watched Friday Night SmackDown. The draft is well and truly underway, and it was quite the ending to Friday Night SmackDown, was it not, Sam Driver?
It was a pretty average episode the entire way, and then Bayley came out with a hood up. She pulled the hood down. She had shorter, dyed black hair. She pulled out, her music stopped for one. She pulled out like a baseball bat with razor blades on the end of it, and she slashed the Bayley buddies to death. She walked into that ring, and who could tell that Charlotte was going to lose, given that she was wearing red, and beat Charlotte Flair. Bayley is the new SmackDown Women's Champion, and
beat her in quite decisive fashion as well.
Quite aggressive fashion.
This wasn't the Bayley Charlotte matches we've seen as of late. This was Bayley taking the fight to Charlotte. This is a metamorphosis of Bayley, which is very, very welcome. There's a video now doing the rounds. It was by my mate William R. Washington, and it was filming his son reacting to Bayley bursting the Bayley buddies. And bless William's son, just bawling his eyes out. Big Bayley fan, devastated.
Well, that's what he gets for believing.
Well, that's told you. So congratulations to Bayley beginning her second reign as SmackDown Women's Champion. Sam Driver's going to break down the other big happenings from the WWE Draft in SmackDown Live graded very soon.
Yeah, I'm going to be grading SmackDown after I've edited this. So yeah, hopefully it won't take too long. I'll be able to get graded to you pretty quickly.
Every time you watch a video with Sam in, he's dying a little bit more inside. He's been up since Wednesday.
Yeah.
A big part of WWE's programming was ruined by themselves, it turns out.
I don't know how they even managed this.
This is phenomenal.
It's a huge oversight.
Mm-hmm. So we didn't know who was going where in the draft. A lot of people were saying that everyone was very tight-lipped about who was being moved.
It was supposed to be that people didn't even know. Only certain people had been told where they were going, and for everybody else it would be a surprise, so that we'd have genuine reactions.
We knew that there would be draft pools that they would play from every night, so we knew there would be a separate pool for tonight to Monday.
And we were told there would be sort of guest people involved with the drafts. So we had Troy Aikman, we had some people, they were cutting to the NFL team, they were cutting to the draft officers, which was all just clearly actors. And people just sort of jumping up and going, yeah! Or, oh, God, we should have got that one. It was really odd, and Stephanie announced all the picks, and it just felt disjointed.
But here's the big thing about that whole process. As the draft got underway, it was apparent that the names that were being read out on the show by Stephanie McMahon were in the exact order that they were printed on WWE.com. We cottoned onto this fairly quick on the live stream, and lo and behold, for the first couple of rounds, literally name after name after name, you could predict everybody that was coming up. It was only near the end, maybe the final round of the draft, where somebody in that backstage area clocked what was going on and tried to repair it by jumbling the last few names around, but too late, the fix was already in on that one. And as you say, Sam, what an oversight.
It's just of all the things you could do, you ruin your own draft.
Absolutely.
After you've hyped it, it's brand warfare, it's all this, here's all the names. In order.
They have now put all the names for Monday in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
So we won't know unless you took a print screen.
Which there will be one out there. 110%.
There is bound to be. But well done, WWE. That's a new level of botchamania goodness. That is. Should we talk about AEW?
Yeah, we may as well. More wrestling.
On the blue brand.
More wrestling.
So much wrestling right now. We have 2 huge matches added to Wednesday's Dynamite next week. Well, we have 1 match and a new match stipulation.
Well, we should probably just spread whatever rumours currently circulating on the internet, which is that Bayley's going to jump across and put the title in the bin because she was wearing gold and black tonight. Yeah, Bayley's going to AEW. I'm assuming that's currently doing the rounds on the internet and spiralling out of control. So I'm just going to jump ahead of that one and throw it out there.
They've lost the Bayley tribute act because they're just going to get Bayley instead, which makes perfect sense. So as well as Bayley turning up to AEW, we're going to see a tag team match. Jon Moxley teaming with Pac.
Yep.
To face Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. They're really big on their tag team main events.
Well, they said they were really trying to push their tag team division. They wanted to make it feel special, and there was going to be a huge importance on the tag team side of things. So makes sense.
A huge importance on the AEW Championship on Wednesday as well. Chris Jericho defends against the #1 contender Darby Allin in what has now been decreed a Philadelphia street fight.
This is going to get nasty. I think there's going to be a lot of blood.
I'm excited for Darby Allin hitting Jericho with a barbed wire baseball bat whilst coming down the ramp on a skateboard.
Yeah,
Make that a thing.
It's going to be one of those matches where it just goes into the crowd, and Jericho will eventually bring it back to the ring right at the very end, if it even gets into the ring. It's going to be pretty grim.
But I'm excited. It's a good opportunity for Darby Allin.
Oh, God, yeah.
This is a really good showcase of Darby, who is phenomenal. I mean, I must admit, I'm quite biased when I watched the #1 contenders match between Darby Allin and Jimmy Havoc. I was pulling for my boy, Jimmy.
Yes.
But that's not to be. It's going to be Darby instead, and they're going to have a belter. Also, on Wednesday night, I'll run through some of the other matches that are already announced for Dynamite on Wednesday. The AEW Women's Championship is on the line. Rio's defending against Dr. Britt Baker, the dentist.
Well, Rio's not losing that belt.
Nah, not
Rio cannot lose the belt that easily.
Why hasn't Britt Baker got Isaac Yankem DDS in her corner?
I don't know.
More dentists hanging together. Thank you, please. The tag team title tournament first round continues. The Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix are facing the Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Or a man and his dinosaurs.
That's really interesting.
I'm pulling for Jurassic Express.
I think Lucha Brothers are going through, but I wasn't expecting this matchup this early.
My heart belongs to Jurassic Express. We're also getting another first round match of the tournament between the Best Friends, Trent Barretta and Chuck Taylor, versus SoCal Uncensored, who we know is going to be Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian.
I hope Best Friends go through.
That'd be quite a nice one.
Yeah.
They've already shocked in this tag title tournament with Private Party defeating the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why they wouldn't go again. So I like how AEW seem to really lay out their stall early on for Dynamite. I feel like NXT, we've got a little bit of that, but we've got an entire show ready to go with Dynamite. There's no surprises like with NXT. There is, and I'm the NXT guy in the room, and I think it's interesting how Dynamite lay out their stall for their things so early on. Excited about that card?
Yeah, especially Moxley, Pac, Omega, Page. I think that's going to be a great match. I think obviously as well the hardcore wrestling fan of me is going to really want to see Jericho, Allen. I think that's going to be great. But Lucha Brothers are always game to watch. Lucha Brothers, Jurassic Express. Yeah, it's a strong card, really strong card.
So we've had an update on the future of Ronda Rousey in the WWE. Triple H got accosted in the media scrum after the press conference for WWE Crown Jewel. Triple H was asked about the future in the WWE for Ronda Rousey, and Triple H said, and I quote, we will see Rousey wrestle again. She's coming back soon.
Yeah, he said sooner rather than later.
That's the quote I was reading.
Yeah,
sooner rather than later is the quote.
It's interesting because she ain't a part of the draft.
No.
Are they going to keep certain free agents?
I think for
like Rousey,
a bit of mystery, they
Taker,
need to.
Cena.
Yeah, I think they need to be floating. They need to sort of be floating legends almost that can just drop onto either of the brands.
It makes sense.
I think more with the draft. I think really we're just building like your core divisions, aren't we? And then guys like Cena, Undertaker, and Rousey could just happily just float to wherever they need to go at that time.
Yeah.
So I could happily see Rousey on Raw as an entertainer. I could happily see her on SmackDown, like really tearing it up with like a Shayna Baszler.
Yeah,
Baszler
I want Baszler to end up on SmackDown, and I want Baszler Rousey. That's going to be a hell of a match.
So you're excited about Rousey coming back then? Because there's a few people that aren't.
Well, it's wrestling, isn't it? Everybody's going to whinge about something. But no, of course I'm excited about Rousey coming back. She's proven, like, well, she took to wrestling like a duck to water.
She really did.
And she's still got a lot more to give. So
Well, she's still part of WWE in some sense anyway, because obviously the new series of Total Divas has started.
Yeah.
Ronda's very heavily featured in that, so it wouldn't be out of character for her to turn up again very soon.
yeah.
And finally, an update on a story that we reported on a few hours ago. Sasha Banks, according to PW Insider, suffered a tailbone injury that could potentially see her out of action for quite some time. She's all right.
Yeah,
Seems like she's fine.
She's all right. I mean, she might still have a tailbone injury, but it might just be not as severe as was originally made out. So yeah,
it's been
thank God for that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm relieved
because she'd just come back. I didn't want to see her get sidelined again. It would just suck, and it happens all too often. People come back and are almost immediately sidelined. And it's nice to know that she's going to be back in action.
She's going to be back in action as soon as Monday night. We have found out that the opening match for Raw, Part 2 of the draft, Electric Boogaloo, it's going to be Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch, and same rule as the Roman Reigns-Seth Rollins match, in that the winner will get the first dibs on the draft picks for their brand.
But it's fine because you already know what they are if you go back and you sort of decipher the original post.
Don't forget, they've already ruined it for all of us. SmackDown Graded will be coming up on the YouTube channel very soon. This beautiful overtime gentleman will be grading what we have just watched on our telly boxes, so make sure that you give him lots of love. In fact, here he is telling you about Patreon.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter @Cultaholic. You can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you like what we do here at Cultaholic, you can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/Cultaholic. And no matter what you do, don't ever forget to hit subscribe and join us.